Hello, welcome to Refill with Preach Sister. My name is Michelle Lloyd Paige, and I am the founder of Preach Sister. Preach Sister has a mission of creating a welcoming environment for women to discern, grow into, and celebrate their calling into ministry. When we understand ministry, we have a very wide definition of what ministry is all about. And part of ministry is not only ministry to as we think about in the church, but also ministry in the community. And part of what it means to be equipped to do ministry, which is what we strive to do, is to take care of ourselves. And in this current season, there's a lot going on that causes stress and anxiety. And it can seem like our tanks are just really running on empty, right? And so what I wanted to do is just to create a platform for me to interview women who are very dear to me, women who, by example, have encouraged me to take time to refill my own tanks. And so tonight is our very first episode of Refill with Preach Sister. And tonight I am excited to introduce to you someone that I have known all of her life, who's my daughter, Adrian. My daughter, Adrian, is the founder of Plant-Based and Slayed, and she is the co-founder of the AP&J Project. I will get it right. She is the founder of that, and she'll talk about that in a moment. But what I most wanted her to do in this inaugural episode, recently, she and I won't say recently, she and I have been talking a lot about how do we take care of ourselves. And I had been inspired by her. And in fact, part of the reason that I took a break for myself over this past summer is because of some of the conversations that she and I were having about how do we take care of ourselves. And we talk a lot about self-care. And so this idea of refilling is about how do we fill up our tanks. And so, Adrian, if you could just tell us, what does refilling mean to you?
Yeah, so with refilling, it's really important to take time for yourself and just allow your space for yourself to be. As an introvert, self-proclaimed introvert, it's really important for me to refill on a daily basis, as well as take time to recharge and check in with myself on a regular basis. So just allowing the space for yourself to be, allowing the space for yourself to connect back with yourself.
Okay. And I like that, right? It's that, and I think that's one of the things that I have admired about you over these, especially the last couple of years. I mean, I admire you all the time, but especially over the last couple of years, you've been so intentional about taking care of yourself. And that's something that has inspired me to think more about, how do I take care of myself? And so as you have talked about, finding out what it is that we need to do to take care of ourselves. Can you tell me how do you refuel, recharge, and regroup? What are some of those practices that you do or something that you've done lately to refill your tanks?
Yeah, so on a daily basis, I just ensure that I meditate. As you said, am very intentional about what I consume, not only as far as what I eat, but also what I'm taking in mentally and spiritually. So just being aware of that on a daily basis. And then from time to time, just taking a period of time to check in with myself and to clear everything out, clear out as many distractions as possible in order to recharge. And so recently I did a 22-day cleanse, and it wasn't just about food. It was mentally, spiritually, and physically cleansing myself. So just setting intentions at the beginning for what I wanted to focus on during those 22 days, removing as many distractions as possible, which was no TV, no music or anything, even though I love music, no music, just only in taking things that would help me vibrate higher or better understand myself or better tap into myself. So reading books about um, being spiritual, reading books about business, reading books about meditation, those types of things, and then listening to motivational speakers during that time as well. So being very intentional during that time in the first 10 minutes of my day, making sure that I have time to take in something positive, not checking my phone, not checking social media, not, immediately jumping on the computer to work, just waking up a couple of minutes early to check in with myself and listen to something that's motivational. So I start my day off on a good foot. And then also during the 22 days, only eating things that I know make me feel good. And for me, that's eating vegan. So eating plant based, um, no meat, no dairy. Trying to stay away from caffeine, which I ended up cutting caffeine during the 22 days. So that was awesome. So that's pretty much what I did. Meditate, checked in with myself in the morning and at night, did yoga, read books, ate things that I knew were clean and were good for my body, and limited outside distractions. So I think I only talked to really my family and Jay, my cousin Jay, who was doing the 22-day cleanse with me. And also during that time, we did creative projects.
So tell me about one of the creative projects that you were able to do. Well, we are live. It seems like Adrian has frozen just a minute, but I can tell you as we get our technology back together, but I can tell you that for her 21-day cleanse, like she said, really focusing on whole foods. And in addition, like she said, eliminating the caffeine, eliminating the distractions, not watching the news. And, there's a lot that's going on in the news. And one of the things that was, I think, a little bit difficult, and when she is able to jump back on, we can ask her to verify this as if this was something that was a little difficult for her. But what she was able to do was to really find books that were had inspirational quotes and aspirations and things like that, and just reading through those and journaling through those things. She is someone that loves to journal and writing out those things. As her mom, I know that she was sticking true to this 21 days of just kind of removing some of the distractions and things, because she was able to we didn't have as many conversations with one another. And that was something I had to respect, her goal of doing a 21-day cleanse, even though we have a great relationship, because I'm actually in Nashville with her right now. And so maybe she can come from the other room and in here we'll do this just in a single shot. But we have such a great relationship, but because this was something that she wanted to do, she realized that there was so much going on that she just needed to push pause for a moment. And that's what refilling our souls, refilling ourselves is all about, is just understanding that sometimes we just need to press pause and say, you know what? I need to make sure that I'm eliminating all the things that are going on in life. And so just to prove we actually are in the same place, I'm going to move over here a little bit. You can come that way. So we were in two different rooms. And so this is our first trial. And so now I know, right, that we always do a trial with the technology. So you know that we're here. So tell me, how difficult was it to not talk with me so much during those 21 days?
It was horrible. No, it was really difficult, which I think it's the 21 days is definitely to check in with yourself, but it's good to have a buddy during that time, because it really is difficult to untap from not only family and not sever all ties with family, but untap from really the world and social media. Because one of the things that Jay and I discussed during the 21 days was that
some of the things that we were listening to were replaying in our heads, or some of the shows that we like to watch were replaying in our heads. So we wanted to watch it. We wanted to listen, talk to our family. So it was really hard. So having a buddy to check in with during that time and keep you focused and keep you on the task is very helpful, who have the same intention as you.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, right? When we are taking time to take care of ourselves, we have to let other people know that these are our goals, and invite them to help us, invite them to support us. So Adrian had told me that she was going to do this 21-day detox. And then when she told me she wasn't going to be on the phone as much and she wasn't going to be doing on this, it's like, but wait a minute, I want to talk to you. And there were times when I wanted to pull the mommy card, right? It's like, oh no, we're going to talk. But, just having respect for that. And I think for us to be supportive of one another, that's something that we need to do to support one another. That when someone says, you know what, I want to do better, I want to take care of myself, that we want to give them the environment to do that. And that's what Preach Sister is all about, creating these spaces that are supportive for women to grow into, to discern, and to celebrate their call into ministry, or to grow into, to discern, and to celebrate who they are as women. And that's what this is all about. So I am down here in Nashville because you have a project that's coming up that I'm so excited. So some of you who may know me, I have been vegan since 2006. It is hard to believe that I've been vegan since 2006, right? Not hard to believe that I've been vegan this long. It's hard to believe that it's all this time has passed, because it seems just like yesterday, right? It doesn't seem like it's been all these years that I've been vegan. However, my daughter has not been vegan since 2006. In fact, was it just 2 years?
2018.
2018. So it's just been 2 years that she's been vegan.
Yeah.
And so we have been, exploring food options. Wasn't too long ago, we had this great adventure in Chicago before COVID, this great adventure in Chicago to just explore some of these really wonderful Michelin star vegan restaurants, right? But tell us about this project that's coming up.
So what actually kicked off the project was the trip to Chicago, a girls' trip to Chicago. And I think we started playing around with the idea of possibly doing something online where we tested out recipes, but I kind of shooed it away because I didn't want to be online. And I was like, I'm just starting. But Plant-Based and Slayed is just, again, about being intentional about what you feed yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically, while also having fun with plant-based recipes. So we are working on the food part right now, which we're really excited about. And we will do like cookbooks and things like that along the way. But right now, just working on recipes. But the other part of Plant-Based and Slayed is being intentional and really taking the time to refill and allow space for yourself to do self-care.
Yeah. So I know what plant-based it means, right? So that's only eating plants, grains, fruits, and vegetables, staying away from animal products, and
which
meat,
I say I'm plant-based,
and fish and things like that. But tell us what Slayed is. Tell us how that's a little bit different.
Yeah, so the Slayed is the wellness part. So I feel like when you really take the time to check in with yourself, when you really take the time to flow in your creativity, when you take the time to allow yourself to be, allow the space for yourself to be, you are slaying. That's when you feel most confident. That is when you feel most in yourself. That's when no one can tell you anything about yourself. So that's the Slayed part. The Slayed part is the wellness part, not necessarily, putting on the lashes and the makeup, but just being confident in yourself, allowing, tapping into yourself, allowing the space for yourself to be, whatever that looks like for you. So it could be, sitting at home eating cupcakes and drinking champagne, which some days that's what it is for me. It could be playing with your dog in sweatpants, again, me. Or it could be, going out with your friends and having dinner and really dressing up, whatever that looks like for you in that time. Just taking the time to be yourself, whatever that looks like. So that's the Slayed part.
So that is an exciting project. And I think that's important, especially important for women. I mean, men can learn something from this as well, but I think it's especially important for women too, learning how to accept ourselves, learning to celebrate ourselves, whatever our body shape, whatever our gifts and talents, whatever our past has been, but setting aspirations, setting intentions about how we can be better. And that's a part what refilling is all about, right? Just really taking the time to understand who are we, and what is this great adventure in life that is in front of us. And when we take the time to really ask the question, what is my purpose? What is my passion? What do I aspire to? And then how do we take care of ourselves? How do we equip ourselves to get to that place? And I think even going on to these little adventures. So when we went to Chicago, we had no idea, right, that this was brewing, but we had such a great time. And we started thinking about not only the fabulous food that we were eating, but also just the enjoying conversations. And we talked a lot about taking care of ourselves and what we wanted to do. And that was just planting a seed for doing something so much bigger. And so now here we are getting ready to I'm launching Refill with Preach Sister, right? So that was a something, and part of my wanting to do this was not only to expand what Preach Sister does, but also because I was inspired by you, because she was wanting to do plant-based and Slade and had this whole empire. Just watch, it's going to be awesome. So we're going to do that, but then just taking the step, right? Just taking the step. But in order to take the step, we have to get rid of all those negative voices that are in our head that tell us we can't, we shouldn't, it's too hard, it's too impossible. It's not me, right? And so we refill ourselves, we get ourselves in a space so that we can really listen to some positive voices. So who were some of those voices that you were listening to? I know you listened to some inspirational people, but who were some of those people that you listened to help get you there?
Lisa Nichols.
Lisa Nichols, yes.
Me and Jay call her Auntie Lisa. So if you ever see this, hi. Lisa Nichols was definitely on replay. But there's also a YouTube channel called Believe Nation or something like that, who just has top 10 successful tips or things like that. Videos that you can watch, short videos, long videos that you can watch that really get you powered up. Oprah was another one. Jay Shetty was another one. He was a monk that turned, I don't want to say regular, but went back into the real world, got married, but is now sharing messages over Facebook and YouTube. So those were 3 people that I listened to constantly and still listen to. I mean, you build those habits during the 22 days and then you keep them with you. That's the whole point. So those are people that I still listen to on a daily basis. Or different podcasts about business, whatever works. But
all right. And then before we wrap this up, because we promised that we're only going to keep these shows short, about 20 to 30 minutes, because that's about what our attention span is. So just really quickly, tell us what the AP&J project is.
So the AP&J project is a project with, again, me and my cousin Jay, my partner in crime, but that is also wanting to create a space for businesses to just be whatever you want your business to look like. We want to help you create that and ease the path for you and make it fun. So we call ourselves your branding bestie. So anything from doing a business or doing an event to help put your stamp on something, we want to help you do that. And we want to make it a fun process. We want to make it not necessarily an easy process, because it's never easy birthing a baby, birthing a brand, but we want to make it as fun as possible. So that's what the AP&J project is all about. Okay.
Well, thank you. Well, this has been our inaugural show of Refill with Preach Sister. We've learned some things with this, but I can't think of anyone else that I would have rather done this inaugural show with than my daughter, because she really has inspired me to do more, and we really do have some great conversations. And it is just fun doing this. So we've learned a lot from this. So thanks for hanging in there with us. If you want to know more about what Preach Sister is doing, please feel free to visit us at preachsister.org. We plan to have a Refill with Preach Sister show twice a month. usually the first and third Saturday of the month. But because we are working to launch this plant-based and slave project, we have a lot of cooking and recipe testing that we're doing. And we weren't sure if we were going to be able to launch the broadcast in the middle of all the cooking and things that we've done. We've already been cooking. You're going to want, even if you're not vegan, you're going to love this food, right? But visit us on the preachsista.org website just to find out all the things that we do. We have a monthly wellness challenge. So again, this is continuing this theme of how do we take care of ourselves so that we'll be prepared to do the ministry that we're called to do, to follow the paths that we are called to follow. So we have a monthly wellness challenge this month, the month of September. Our wellness challenge is called Take a Deep Breath. And it's all about breathing deeply. It's all about pausing. It's all about doing this self-examination about who are we, where are we going. It's all about getting rid of some of the distractions that are around us. So look us up on Preach Sisters. You can do that. We also have every first and third Friday of the month, we have the Wow Women of the Word Bible study that's virtual, so feel free to join us for that. We also have the Fresh Anointing Conference. They went virtual this last time. Well, no wonder. So we still do that every year. And then we also have soul care retreats. So twice a year. We have one coming up in September, but it's already sold out. It's limited in size. And if we have enough demand, we'll have more of them. But it's a 24-hour silent retreat. And it's all about taking the time to pause, breathe deeply, and put ourselves in a position so that God can speak to us, put us in a position so that we can heal from some of the toxicities that we experience. I can speak. But I just, again, want to say thank you so much for joining us for our inaugural Refill with Preach Sister. We promise that we will have a set time when we launch these in the future, but we're just too excited and wanted to launch this tonight. So thank you for being with us, and check us out on preachsista.org and check out the AP&J project and tell us where we can find it.
It is APNJ APNJ.com.
Yeah, APNJ.com, right? And preachsista.org. So we will see you. Hopefully we'll see you soon. So thank you so much. Have a good evening. Have a good day, and take time to take a deep breath.